Arizona Cardinals 2.0 is officially here. Preseason week 1 is tomorrow. Will Hernandez is back. Let's discuss it all.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Cardinals, Alex Clancy here. Follow me on Twitter at Clancy's Corner. Follow the podcast at Locked On AZ Cards. Thank you for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen free wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Please go to the YouTube channel, search Locked On Arizona Cardinals. Hit that subscribe button, man. Turn notifications on. Leave a comment. Had some interesting comments after Kyler Murray's entire show yesterday for his 20th birthday. Figured I'd do a whole Kyler show. Whether you agree, disagree, always love chatting it up with the everydayers. Tomorrow, Cardinals squad show will immediately follow my live reaction to the Cardinals game after its completion as they host the Chiefs week 1 of the preseason. So how today's going to go? Will Hernandez is back on a 1-year deal. I'm going to talk about that in the final segment. Of course, that happened immediately after I posted yesterday's show. What to watch for tomorrow on the defense in the second segment, and what to watch for on the offense right now. I've been in sports media for 15 years. It's my 9th season hosting this show. I have never had higher expectations and had more excitement all at the same time for this organization. And we're going to find out everything. We're going to find out every single question surrounding Kyler Murray, surrounding this coaching staff, surrounding this offense as a whole, surrounding the defense, everything starting tomorrow. And naturally, the next 3 games aren't going to matter nearly as much as week 1 on the road against New Orleans, about a month away. There's a bunch of things to discuss here regarding the offense. I'm putting to bed that, the amount of time that the starters play, whatever it is going to be. Okay. I saw a lot of injuries yesterday, which was, it's just awful to see around the league, irrespective of which team the player plays for. But what to watch for the offense tomorrow? For me, specifically, there are 3 things. I'm going to go with least important to most important. Least important is what the run game looks like. And this is predominantly surrounding Trey Benson. Okay. James Conner, I'm sure will get a couple carries. I'm assuming Trey Benson will get double or more than what James Conner gets. The Cardinals need to lock down a bona fide RB2 and not just be James Conner and then figure it out after that. Give everybody some touches and ride the hot hand. If you have a true 1-2 punch in this league, it makes it much more difficult to be able to defend a run game. And that's pretty obvious. And listen, I'm not married to Trey Benson. If Emari Demercado somehow beats out Trey Benson for the RB2 role, great. It doesn't matter. There just needs to be one. And the real determination starts tomorrow. I would give Trey Benson the lion's share. I would make him force the Cardinals to either stick with him or go somewhere else. I would put the ball in his hands, and not just because he was a 3rd-round pick and Emari Demercado was UDFA. That so much does not matter. That was terrible construction of a sentence. That doesn't matter at all where they were drafted, truly. Put the best player on the field next to James Conner and go. And it starts tomorrow. That's 1. Number 2, the offensive line. I don't know how much the starting offensive line is going to play. We saw Indianapolis start their starter and quarterback, but not play the entirety of the starting offensive line. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I would assume that when Jonathan Gannon says they're going to play the starters, they're going to play the entirety of the 11 starters on offense. I'm curious to see just what it looks like right away with the live defense of, a team that's not wearing Arizona Cardinals colors. I don't know if Chris Jones is going to play. I'm assuming he's going to. I don't know if the rest of the defense for the Chiefs are going to play. I'm assuming they're going to because the offense is going to. So this will be a good test for the Cardinals right out the gate to see what it's like 1 versus 1s. And the offensive line reported after that Evan Brown and Isaiah Adams are going to be the starters going into the season. Will Hernandez will start on the pup. So, yeah, we'll see if Isaiah Adams can keep that role. I know he's been a star out of camp. We'll see if that's something that's going to translate right away. We'll see what Jonah Williams looks like on the right side. But this is going to be paramount for the Cardinals' success, obviously, in 2025, is the offensive line continuing to emerge forward as more and more stable. And if they're able to withstand whatever injuries may come their way, let's hope that there are none. And finally, and most importantly, even though, we're not going to see, if we're going to weight this regarding importance, tomorrow is the least important of everything to come. And you got to see what K1 and Marv are like. This is the thing to watch for, okay? The Cardinals play first 2 weeks, couple really good defenses in Denver and Kansas City flipped. But when you look at what Kyler Murray to Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to mean in 2025, it's the difference between a good offense and a top 8 offense, top 5 offense potentially. If Marv takes that second-year leap that everybody expects him to take, this offense is going to be special. This offense is going to be special because then you have alphas in the tight end room, the running back room, and the wide receiver room. 3 of them. Not many teams have all 3. Not many teams have all 3. So what does that mean? What to look for? For me, specifically, I want to see what kind of routes he runs. Okay? We want to move away watching the Arizona Cardinals just throw go routes to Marvin Harrison Jr. I know it was kind of last year. It was a where the hell do you fit this guy into the offense? It's kind of take the best player available and figure it out. They figured it out in some capacity. Early on, it was just Kyler and Marv being elite athletes, being exemplary at their crafts, just kind of playing off each other without any real reps. Now they've had a full cycle of offseason on top of the 17 games last year, even though Marv missed the majority of the Green Bay game early in the season with going into concussion protocol very early on. Now they've got this sample size of reps. I want to see what kind of routes are run. I want to see what the timing looks like. I think they're probably going to get him a couple quick catches, then get him off the field. I would assume that would be the case. But regardless of what the sample size looks like, you want to see what Kyler and Marv are going to be. You want to see what Kyler and Marv are going to be. And then, really after that, a couple honorable mentions. One, what Trey McBride shirt, Trey McBride is as close to set and forget as you can get on this team, let alone in this league, let alone on this team. I want to see if Zay Jones gets any run, if Greg Dortch gets any run, if Xavier Weaver gets any run. I'd like to see what the supporting cast is going to look like in their first real game action. And it doesn't really matter if it's Kyler Murray or Jacoby Brissett. It really doesn't. Getting the reps, getting the routes run in this offense, regardless of who the quarterback is going to be paramount, obviously, for success moving forward. It's at least going to build momentum starting from day one. Okay. It's what it is. Another honorable mention thing for me is what the other tight ends look like. There were rumblings out of camp that Tip Ryman might have a bit more of an offensive role this year. I don't know why it took me so long to figure out the word role. He might have a little bit more of an offensive role here. Elijah Higgins used to be a wide receiver, converted into a tight end. That's kind of a sneaky giant that the Cardinals have, that if for some reason, you can't get much out of the wide receiver room outside of Marvin Harrison Jr. this year, you can run more 12 personnel and you can get more dudes who can catch the ball out of different positions. It doesn't matter where the yards and the catches come from, as long as they're being had, as long as this offense is getting better. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that this is going to be fun to watch. The tight end room, that's kind of the nerd out part of this segment where it's like, let's see what this offense can do from the tight end room outside of Trey McBride. Again, regardless of who's quarterback, it's more proof of concept than anything. So all of that will be fascinating to see when the Cardinals host the Chiefs on Saturday from the offensive perspective. What about the defense? Vets, rookies, an amalgamation of the both. We're going to see it all Saturday. And I'm stoked about that. Growing up is realizing that a great defense is sexier than a great offense. Put it on a bumper sticker. Next. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by Monarch Money. Ever wish managing your money felt easier? With Monarch Money, it can, man. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch Money puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. And it's more than just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center where you can track all your accounts, investments, and spending all in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. Like for me, it was always eating out. This was a couple years ago, and then I slowly started to get better. I still needed a little bit more help, and Monarch Money kind of showed me how to save here and there and where to put those funds to continue to build my wealth. To take control of your finances with Monarch Money, use code LOCKEDONNFL at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNFL for half off your first year. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is also brought to you by our friends at Yahoo Fantasy. It's the best time of year. It's the best time of year. NFL kickoff is almost here. That means fantasy football is here. Yahoo Fantasy is turning things up with a football experience like never before. So whether you're first time you've been playing forever, like I have, so I'm in 2 leagues. One has been 20 years. The second has been 5 years. I said 9 last year. I said 9 yesterday. I didn't lie to you. I thought it was 9. It's felt like 9 because I've donated the last 3 years, because in a dynasty league, it's so important how to balance young talent and veteran talent. And sometimes trading for veteran talent is more important than draft picks in that specific year. Case in point, I traded with my buddy Chris. I traded for Devontae Adams because all you need is points, you know? So I traded for Devontae Adams. I needed another wide receiver 1. I gave up some young talent, and my team is more ready to win now, but I'm going to have to shift maybe next year or the year after as players on my team start to retire. It's all about balance. But if it's not dynasty and it's not redraft, to celebrate 28 years of fantasy football greatness, Yahoo Fantasy is dropping 28 big new features over 28 days through August. To kick it off, they just dropped Yahoo Fantasy Guillotine Leagues, a killer new way to play fantasy football on Yahoo, where the lowest scoring team gets eliminated each week until there's one team left standing. With the season around the corner, now is the time to get your league together and give this new mode a try. If you're more into the classics, you can still play in head-to-head private leagues or join a public league. Stay tuned for more killer announcements and start playing Yahoo Fantasy now at yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. Please go to the YouTube channel, search Locked On Arizona Cardinals. Hit that subscribe button, man. Turn notifications on. You know the drill, man. You know the dang drill. So here's the deal. When it comes to the defense, it's a little bit more, I'm not sure what's going to happen tomorrow. You know, it's a little bit more, how much are the vets really going to play? Like, I think it'll be important to get Calais and Dalvin Tomlinson here, Josh Sweat, just to get some run with the scheme, I guess you could say, that Nick Rallis cooks up. It's good to get Garrett Williams a little run, Budda Baker a little run, Jalen Thompson a little run. The 3 things to watch for me, first off, and these are all, I think, tied for first. Like, it's a little bit different tiered with offense because they're truly running it back. But these are all tied for first for me. One, I want to see what defensive line looks like. I want to see if they can get some push on the ones from an opposing team who just made the Super Bowl. Creed Humphrey, etc. I want to see what Dalvin Tomlinson, Calais Campbell, Darius Robinson, Josh Sweat, Baron Browning, whoever's starting alongside Josh Sweat, like, I want to see what that looks like. I want to see what a true bona fide, above average on paper with elite upside defensive line looks like, because I haven't seen it. When was the last time the Cardinals had one? It's been a decade. Even with J.J. Watt and Zach Allen here, Chandler Jones, it was never like, oh no, this is something that needs to be schemed for. So I want to see that. Number 2, I want to see, and this is like selfishly my most favorite one, I want to see the 3 safety set. I want to see what it looks like, and I'm not sure if it's going to be Max Melton or Will Johnson, but I want to see that demon DB group. I want to see Budda Baker, Dadrian Taylor-Demerson, Jalen Thompson, Garrett Williams, and Will Johnson all in the field at the same time. Or Max Melton. I want to see it. I want to see what it looks like. I'm not sure if we'll see it tomorrow. I'm not sure if the starters are going to play that long. But I want to see that. If it's going to be shown, that's the thing I'm most excited to see. Because if you couple that front 7 with that DB lineup, and it works, and the pass rush gets pressure, and the ball hawking over the top 5, DBs collectively are eating and covering well, who's gonna score on this team? And I love it that it's against Patrick Mahomes to start. Why not? Let her rip. So those 2, like, I want to see that. And then overall, and I think 1 + 1 equals this, the last 2 equal this, I want to see what this defensive unit as a whole, regardless of who plays like the first quarter and a half, I want to see if you can see dominance in it. And I know it's preseason, I know it's very early, and I know there's a lot of moving pieces and a lot of guys who haven't played on a football field together. A lot of them, most of them who are going to be starting haven't played on a football field together. And I know obviously you're adding rookies and vets, so it just comes with it. I want to see if you can see potential dominance in this offense. Because when you have a defense like that, it doesn't creep up on you. It's shown right away. And it may not be shown right away tomorrow. It may be shown right away in week 1 when you actually get, wins and losses and everything counts. I want to see the rotations, honorable mention. I want to see Darius Robinson if he lines up just inside or if they move him around the line. I want to see Mac Wilson. I want to see Cody Simon if they play alongside each other. I want to see if it's going to be ADG or if it's going to be Cody Simon or if it's going to be Owen Papo next to Mac Wilson. I want to see if Mac Wilson and Cody, because Cody Simon is technically behind Mac Wilson on the depth chart. I want to see if they're trying to figure out still who's going to be garnering the green dot on Sundays. And this is a good time to just pause and reflect that all of these questions have good results. This isn't, oh no, who's good enough to start in a given position come week 1. It's who's going to beat out who because both guys deserve to start. That's the shift. That's the differentiation between the new regime and the last. This team is so chock full of talent that they don't know who's going to beat out who to start week 1. You understand how powerful that is? Now, it may not work. Like, nothing's a foregone conclusion, obviously. But when you look at the progression of things, especially on the defense, because there was a lot added this offseason, when you look at the progression of things, and you see Garrett Williams now going into year 3, just hitting the beginning of his prime, coupled with Budda Baker and Jalen Thompson, the wily vets over the top, coupled with young stud corners in Max Melton and Will Johnson, Big Ten dudes, coupled with the vets up front who have proven in this league year after year that they belong, that they're, Dalvin Tomlinson and Calais Campbell. They're older. I mean, Calais is older. Dalvin Tomlinson is, still well within meaningful football years. Josh Sweat, who isn't like, the picture I'm trying to paint here is the Cardinals may not have 3 all-pros on this defense or something. But if you told me that 4 of them made the Pro Bowl, either alternate or bona fide starter at the end of the season, wouldn't be surprised. The potential coupled with the proven talent the Arizona Cardinals have on the defense is what makes them so dangerous. Because the young talent that hasn't proved itself yet, whether they be, rookies now or, Max Melton's second-year dudes who are looking to emerge and take that next step, they're not required to do that to save the defense. They can learn at a normal pace on how to play in the NFL, and if they learn more quickly, this defense cannot be stopped in 2025. We've seen bad. This is not bad. This is good with upside of great. And we'll find out what it's made of starting tomorrow night against Kansas City. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. Will Hernandez is back. What does it mean? Do I believe that he's going to be a bench guy? No. We'll discuss it next. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor of your favorite golf drink, minus the alcohol, into a quick, energizing shot. So whether you're sinking birdies or just making memories, this is a hole-in-one drink, man. It tastes so damn good. Let's be honest. Some days on the course or off of it, you just need that extra boost to stay sharp and energized. For me, I drink coffee before rounds now, where I get energy before rounds now. Coffee's, it's an acquired taste. I'd rather taste something that actually tastes good and gives me the boost necessary without the alcohol in it. Golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors too. The grape ginger lime flavor gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without chasing down the Bev cart. If you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that is the number 5hourenergy.com, you can use my promo code LOCKEDONGolf for 20% off your first order. The offer is only valid until September 30th. On one order, it cannot be used with other promotions. The code is not good on subscription orders. Whether you're meeting up with friends or trying to turn 18 to 36, get the energizing boost you need to power through. Order transfusion flavored 5-hour energy shots today. All right. Will Johnson is back. Not surprised. Multiple reports that, he met, obviously, by the NFL page had it, and then a couple other sources saying that, they were meeting with him, and then chances are they were going to sign him. I mean, it's not surprising. I've been saying that for weeks. Obviously, I don't have the insider info. It seemed like rational sense that he would come back. Reports out that he's going to be backing up Isaiah Adams, still recovering. He's been cleared, still kind of recovering from his ACL tear in week 5 of last year. Will Hernandez has. People have been raving about Isaiah Adams in camp, which is great. That's great. Put it this way, if Isaiah Adams is a better option than Will Hernandez, that is a fantastic position for the Arizona Cardinals to be in. You want to put the best 5 dudes out there up front. Still would have signed him. I mean, the 1-year deal thing, I don't know if it's maybe because it gives him flexibility to go elsewhere after this year. I would have liked to see them sign a 2-year deal. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's splitting hairs. But what Will Hernandez brings is what Kelvin Beachum is. What Will Hernandez brings is what Calais Campbell is. Everybody loves Will Hernandez. And he's played very well for this team over the last 3 seasons. He's played very well for this team over the last 3 seasons. He's gotten exponentially better every year. Truly. Last year or 2 years ago with he and Paris Johnson on the right side, Will Hernandez, I think, had his best year as a Cardinal. It was tough with Jonah Williams getting hurt and then Jonah Williams coming back after the bye week and him just not playing well. Coupled with Will Hernandez being hurt, I think that was one of the stressors, obviously, the Cardinals were facing last season, especially on offense on the right side of the line. So when he comes back, you've got another dude who you can plug in and play. I'm not trying to be a hard head or stubborn or anything. It's I can't shake that if Will Hernandez didn't get hurt last year, Isaiah Adams wouldn't have played. Maybe they would have popped him in somewhere else, but he wouldn't have played. So the fact that he's been taking reps at camp and he's been playing well, that's great. That's great. I'm not being sarcastic. That's fantastic. And that doesn't mean that he's a better right guard than Will Hernandez. With Justin Fry coming in, I think, the former offensive line coach for Ohio State now with the Arizona Cardinals, I think that there's, obviously there's power to be had with Isaiah Adams having a full camp under the new offensive line coach and Will Hernandez not. I think that'd be tie goes to Isaiah Adams, which is great. This is not a bad problem to have. Will Hernandez coming back is nothing but a good thing. Nothing but a good thing. The Cardinals cannot afford one injury to derail whatever they're doing this year. And having Will Hernandez back in the fold is only positive. So I'm going to take the last couple minutes here. It's time. It's showtime. I know it's the preseason, but it's showtime. No more excuses, no more reasons, no more green ribbon ceremonies that I was giving away in 2023. For those that have been with me for, the last 3 years specifically, this is the culmination of everything that we've been waiting for. We're going to find out everything. I haven't been more excited to be in this position I am out of the 15 years of being in sports media and this being my 9th season hosting this show. I have never been more excited because there are real expectations that can be attained. There are real expectations that are expected of this team to be completed in 2025. There are 0 excuses. There are zero reasons, because I always would delineate between reasons and excuses. There are no reasons nor excuses. It's put up or shut up time. That is a very powerful position to be in when you actually have the ammo to succeed and live up to those lofty expectations, heightened expectations. Darren, you see that I changed my adjective there? It's time. We've been through the mud and the muck together every day after Kyler-Marv tore his ACL in 2022. You know how long ago that was? How much has changed? Josh Dobbs starting in 2023, not being with the team for 2 weeks and going over to play the Washington Commanders, and it's like, oh my God, this team's different. I don't care who's quarterback. To Kyler-Marv coming back, then beating Chicago and then beating Philly late in the season, putting up 100 points. To last year where they were leading the division going into their bye week and then they just cratered. To this year, bolstering the defense. This has been the most complete defense the Arizona Cardinals have had in a decade, if not more. This is the most, balanced and talented team that Kyler-Marv's had since being drafted in 2019. They've got a plan for the future, and it starts tomorrow. See what the guys got. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. Remember, I will be going live tomorrow on YouTube immediately following the game, followed by the Cardinals Squad Show, where Jameel Douglas and I will be going on for another hour. You get an hour and a half of live content immediately following the game tomorrow. But always remember, without you, there is no me. I'll talk to you tomorrow.